I recently posted something saying that frameworks enhance creativity. I was told I was wrong. I'm not. Let's use William Shakespeare, the TV show Friends, and Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner as examples of frameworks enhancing creativity. In addition to all his plays, William Shakespeare wrote 154 sonnets. Each sonnet had to follow a strict rhyming scheme. The first and third lines need to rhyme, so do the second and fourth. Shakespeare's most famous sonnet is number 18. You've almost certainly heard at least the opening line. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? That needs to rhyme with line 3. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May. This pattern of rhyming alternating lines repeats for 3 sets of 4 lines. After that, the last 2 lines have to rhyme, without a line between them. A poet like Shakespeare has to work within this framework. The constraints of a sonnet forces poets to get creative and find rhymes that help say what they want to say. Each episode of Friends followed a structure. That framework constrained each episode of Friends to be told in 3 acts. Act 1 establishes the main characters and their goals. Act 2 raises the stakes for the main characters. The conflict escalates. And then in Act 3, the story is resolved. Think about the episode in which Chandler and Joey fight over who gets to sit in the comfy chair. Act 1 introduces that situation. In Act 2, they become increasingly and ridiculously stubborn about who gets to sit in the comfy chair. Finally, the situation is resolved when Joey gets out of the comfy chair. Essentially, all TV shows, movies, plays, novels, comic books, and more follow the same storytelling framework and its constraints. My favorite framework involves Wile E. Coyote. Chuck Jones, the creator of the cartoon, established 9 rules he forced himself to follow with each episode. Those rules include that the Roadrunner cannot harm the coyote except by going beep beep. No outside force can harm the coyote, only his own ineptitude or the failure of the Acme products. No dialogue ever except beep beep. And whenever possible, make gravity the coyote's greatest enemy. You can see the full list in the description. By forcing these constraints on himself, Chuck Jones created an enduring masterpiece of cartoons. Agile and frameworks such as Scrum put constraints on teams using them. Scrum teams, for example, are constrained by needing to find a way to fully implement features, even if very small, within each sprint. Agile teams are generally constrained by how big they're allowed to become. A team of 7 given a significant challenging objective will have to get creative in how they achieve that goal. A team that knows it can always just add more team members is freed of that constraint and will not be as creative in how they achieve their goal. I'm not alone in thinking this way. In 2015, Adam Morgan and Mark Barden wrote a book, A Beautiful Constraint. In it, they share scientific research into the psychology of breakthrough. They share stories of how a lack of time, money, resources, attention, or even know-how can be turned into advantages when coming up with creative solutions to problems. Next time you find yourself frustrated by a constraint, whether on an Agile project at work or in life, see if you can use it as a boost to finding an innovative solution.